following video demonstration shows an overview of the Collabaro functionality from the iOS app that is installed on the iPads that the technicians use out in the field. So when you first open Collabaro, you'll notice that you need to enter a series of details. In the server box, enter gv.collabaro.com. In the username field, enter your username, and in the password field, enter your password. Now these are all accessible from the Collabaro welcome email that you receive when onboarding. If you do not know these details, please contact your project contact, who will be able to advise what your details are. So once you've entered the server, your username and password, hit the login button. Now that is only possible when an internet connection is established. So to log in initially and to view your project detail, you do have to make sure that you're connected to a wireless network. That will allow the synchronization to complete. Hit continue once completed, and here you will see the project screen. Now before we go into the detail, what I'm just going to highlight here is a number of different areas. So in the bottom left hand corner you see a green idle sign, which means that connection has been established and everything is as it should be. You would see a red icon if a connection wasn't established or something was wrong. Going along the bottom as well, you can also see Collabaro version 5.0.8. That obviously changes upon new releases of Collabaro being published. And you can also see who's logged in. So I'm logged in at the moment, so we can see Thomas McCarthy. Now, we're currently looking at the projects area, so you will only see the projects that you've been allocated to. If you don't see the projects that you wish to see or that you should see, again, please contact your project contact, who will be able to allocate you to a particular project. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into one of these test projects here. So if I go into 4355 Diamond Willow onshore, and then if I go in there, I'll see the job types. Now the job types, underneath each of these, there are a number of tasks that are associated to a job, which form the job. Now, within the majority of Collabaro projects, the time capture only US job type is quite prevalent in the US, so we'll go into that one and we'll just see what we can see. So you can see a number of different tasks, and there what you've got is you've got a number of hours that have been completed against particular tasks. You can select each one of the tasks and that'll take you into more detail where you can specify the asset if there was a turbine present. And then what you can then do is, for this, because it's a resume task, or I'm going to go in and I'm going to resume the task, I can then specify who's taking part in that particular task. So I just click on the people who are obviously included within that particular activity, and then I hit continue. I specify the start time, I hit continue again, and then what I can then do is I'll then see what's associated to that particular task. So here you can see there's a date field, so I can hit in there and then specify the date. And again, there's areas for text, and there's obviously a bigger text box that allows me to type longer text here. Once I'm happy with what I've completed, I click finish, and then I specify what time I finished that particular task. But what I'm going to do for this test, I'm going to hit cancel, and then I'm just going to override with a nice cancel option there. Now if I'm to go back and then back again, if I'm to look at a more detailed complex job type, here we've got US external Cat4 via platform, and again what you'll see is a number of different tasks, and you can see that this has no time associated to it. Now the more detailed tasks will ask you to do some additional activity. So if we're to look at number 10, blade prep and measurements, I'll specify the participant again, specify the start time, and then what I can then do is I can enter notes relating to the blade prep and measurements that I'm completing, and I can also add images under the images optional section. And to add an image, I just click on the little icon, the little grey icon, and that allows me to then take a photo. So if I take that photo, I can retake or I can use photo, so I'm just going to hit use photo. And then what I can then do is I can then click finish, and what will happen is all that detail will be saved onto the iPad and allow me to start formulating my reports. Now while you're out in the field, we do understand that you won't have access to an internet connection all the time, so Collabaro can be used offline. When you come to the end of the day and you're in a place where there's network connectivity available, what you're able to do is using your finger on the iPad and pulling down, you can then pull down and it will then synchronize. And as you can see, the synchronization process will be highlighted as successful if the green button is apparent in the bottom left hand corner next to the idle status. Now once I've completed my daily activity, I might want to take a look back at my timesheet and see that all time has been recorded correctly. So if I hit timesheet, which is at the bottom there, I can then see the daily timesheet, which will show all the tasks that I've completed during the day. I can then obviously cycle forward and cycle backwards to have a look at previous day's work. Now once we're back, we can go back to the main page. If we want to double check that everything's synced through, we can put our finger and we can pull down, and then that will synchronize through on all the data that we've done that particular day will sync through to our servers, and the back office team will be able to see that activity. And then once you complete, all you need to do is hit the sign out, click yes, and that will sign you out of Collabaro.